The autopsy report said that he died of a massive saddle embolus. Find out why the urological surgeon refused to acknowledge that he did anything that caused or contributed to this patient's death. Come join me as I share with you this remarkable story. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law in the state of New York. The gentleman went in for a urological procedure. Now, keep in mind that he had been on blood thinners before he went in for surgery. The doctor told him, listen, you've got to stop your blood thinners before you have the surgery. So he's in the hospital, they take him off the blood thinners, and now he has the surgery. The surgery goes fine, everything goes well with that. But now, here's where the hospital drops the ball. Nobody put him back onto the blood thinners. And the reason somebody would be on blood thinners is to prevent the person from suffering a stroke, a blood clot. Now, the reason they're on blood thinners is because it minimizes and reduces the chances that they will now suffer that type of stroke or blood clot. Nobody after the surgery recognized that he had not been put back on blood thinners. And what do you think happens 2 days later? The nurses go in to check on him. He's dead. Nobody can understand why he died. The surgery was fine. He was doing fine after the surgery. Nobody can figure it out. So now the family comes to me and says, please help us. We don't understand. He died of a saddle embolus, which means he had a massive embolus, a massive blood clot to the lungs that killed him. Help us. And during the course of reading the records, we established, number one, that he was correctly taken off the blood thinners prior to the surgery. There was nothing wrong with the surgery itself. And in fact, the doctors had put orders in the record, in the patient's own record, that he was to be restarted immediately after the surgery, within a few hours. Nobody bothered to recognize or read those orders. And when I had an opportunity to question the doctor, to question the staff, nobody acknowledged the fact that failing to recognize those orders and failing to put the patient back onto the medication, the blood thinners, would have changed or altered the outcome. Only after this case came on for trial, now we're ready to go pick a jury, does the defense acknowledge and recognize that they've got a serious problem. It was only then that they began to enter into serious settlement negotiations, and we were ultimately successful in getting the family compensation. What was remarkable was that not the staff, not the urological surgeon, not the doctors in training ever acknowledged or recognized the fact that they failed to follow their own doctor's orders. And as a result of that, this patient suffered a massive pulmonary embolus, a massive blood clot, causing his death, which was entirely preventable. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you to give you an insight and an understanding into one particular case that I handled involving wrongful death of a gentleman that was preventable. You know, I realize you're watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter happened here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.